Hey friends, thanks for joining me today. Happy Thanksgiving. If you're watching on a holiday, you're a real one. This video will remain posted through Sunday night of the Thanksgiving weekend. Are we here for the Black Friday consumer madness or what? I know I am. Let me know what sales are happening out there and what I need to check out. And I'm here to bring you the Jomashop Black Friday sale. I've been shopping with Jomashop for probably about 2 years now and have bought dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of fragrances from Jomashop and had a great old time, found some amazing deals. They have a variety of both niche and designer fragrances and also celebrity fragrances on the site. And typically they will have some of the most competitive prices of any discount sites at all. I'm going to put a link to my particular affiliate link in the description box and in the pinned comment and would encourage you to shop through there. It is an affiliate link. So if you choose to purchase through there, I do make a small commission from that. Thank you so much. And you want to use the code BF15, BF as in Black Friday 15, BF15 at checkout for an additional 15% off of your purchase. Some of the brands that are being featured for this sale, and it's about 350 plus fragrances, friends, that they have on sale for Black Friday. Creed, Roja, I don't own any from those two, but I have some recommendations based on reviews that I trust. Creed and Roja, Maison Margiela, you've heard me talk about them a lot, Paco Rabanne, Versace, and a few of my favorite houses, including Amouage. Yes, Amouage and I have gotten real cozy here in recent years, Tom Ford and also Bond Number 9. So what I'd like to do in today's video, just for the sake of time, is share with you 3 recommendations from those 3 houses. So 9 total that I think would make great gifts, either for yourself, because I'm sure going to be shopping for gifts for myself, or for the fragrance lovers in your life. A mom, a sister, a brother, a dad, a cousin, a friend, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a child, you know. You never know who's into fragrances in your world. So I've got suggestions that might sort of run the gamut here. So in the pinned comment, I'll have the link to shop through, and I'll also have just a general list of other recommendations that for the sake of time, I'm not including in this video. Let me kick off with one of my faves from Amouage and an absolute crowd pleaser in general, and a love among floral lovers, especially white floral lovers. This is one of their classic beauties, timeless, elegant, classic, refined fragrances, and this is Honor. By the way, the 3 Amouage fragrances that I'm going to talk about usually retail in the $360 range. US, $360. Ay, ay, ay. And they're already on deep discount, like over half off on Jomashop, and then you get the additional percentage off for the sale. This is the white floral lover's dream, that wedding fragrance that brings that ultra femininity to any lady. And by the way, because some of you have asked me, florals on gentlemen smell particularly divine. I realize that's not kind of a common opinion, but I have smelled gentlemen with some beautiful feminine fragrances on, and it doesn't take away from their masculinity whatsoever. In fact, it sort of enhances how amazing they smell. So florals. This one has the trifecta of gardenia, tuberose, and jasmine. You get those 3 notes throughout the life of the fragrance. I love that this fragrance has a lovely, lovely sweet amber, some resins in the base that just give it a nice foundation for those florals to really shine. The florals are the key players in here. There are some white floral fragrances that are in some ways like sheer or light in the way that they feel on your skin. I would say this is a pretty hefty white floral, although not in the cloying direction. This stays in the wearable and enjoyable category and is super crowd pleasing. Folks, when you wear this, people in the room will smell it on you and they will be complimenting you on your fragrance. This is a very crowd pleasing white fragrance. Really, really nice quality, very refined. Love the Amouage bottles. They all look like this, except in different colors. The ones that are marketed toward ladies, the men's are taller, and there are a bunch of men's Amouage fragrances on sale here too. Go check those out. I don't know those, so I can't speak to them for you. But this one, highly recommend for my ladies and gentlemen that like a beautiful, refined, very, very elevated white floral, like the best of the best. Next is one of the recent sweethearts from the Amouage line that has gotten a lot of playtime on YouTube, and it is the absolutely gorgeous Material. There's another bottle that looks like this, Crimson Rocks, which is gorgeous also. I'm not sure if that one is part of the sale, but you're certainly welcome to check it out, and it's probably on a fantastic deal on Jomashop, whether or not it's included in the sale. And that one is rose and spices and cinnamon and woodiness, and really fantastic for the holiday season. I'm going to be talking about that in an upcoming video. But this one here is primarily, some people might say it's an amber vanilla. Some people might say it's a vanilla amber. Now, amber, the accord, does have vanilla as a huge part of the components that make up the amber accord, not surprisingly. But for me, this is, I would call this more a vanilla fragrance. I have this on my vanilla shelf, although it could easily go on the amber shelf as well. It is it has like a classic sort of oriental fragrance base. Like if you think about 80s fragrances, 70s, 80s, 90s fragrances that have a heavy amber base, this one will remind you of that, except it's modernized with this deep, gorgeous vanilla that folks are loving these days. It has a heaping dose of tonka bean. It has some gorgeous resins, a little bit of woodiness. This is just super divine. I talk about this smelling like a very luxurious soap, and not because it smells soapy, but it reminds me of creamy soaps that have like a resinous sort of feel to them in hotels, like very, very luxe soap that's designed to make you smell warm and creamy and luscious. This is great for all year round, but particularly here in the fall and winter, since it is that ambery vanilla, like deep, cozy, absolutely beautiful goodness. Again, another really refined fragrance. I would say the 3 fragrances from Amouage that I'm sharing are more typically for a more mature crowd. Okay. So they don't have a lot of sort of youthfulness to them. Now there are a lot of young folks that like to wear really mature, advanced fragrances, as I call them, or mature fragrances. And that's fine too. Any one of these might appeal to them, but wow. And by the way, the Amouage fragrances, all 3 of the ones that I'm talking about, are very long lasting and fairly projecting, if not really projecting, depending on the person, the weather, the atmosphere that they're in, that kind of a thing. And then in Amouage, for the more daring fragrance wearers among you or among those that you want to gift, and this is their most recent release, so it's hard to get this on sale, and you're going to get it for under $150. It is Lineage. Love this turquoise bottle. A lot of people describe this as smelling like blue turquoise from Armani Privé, and I agree that there are some similarities. For me, this is even more wearable and soft and subtle, not in terms of projection and longevity, because it's kind of beast mode in that sense, but I mean in terms of the feeling that it gives you from an olfactory sense. It's more soft and pretty, if you will, than the other one. Well, pretty maybe isn't the best word to describe this, because I would say that this is pretty squarely unisex, and some people might think it leans a little bit masculine. I think it sort of defies a gender description for me. I describe this as smelling like luxurious spa oils that relax you. You feel like you have walked into the most beautiful perfumed oil air in a really high-end spa or salon. This is just glorious. It does have a prominent frankincense note that's noticeable, and it's noticeable throughout. It's a really soft, like flat frankincense. Some frankincense notes can be really sort of punchy to the nose. For me, I don't get that with this at all. I get a really sort of like refined, elegant, smooth, round frankincense. There are other spices in here. Some people pick up a prominent ginger note. For me, the spices sort of blend together, and then a beautiful like resinous myrrh note. This is a neat fragrance, really different. This is unique for me. I mean, even though it's compared to blue turquoise, I find this one to be in a league of its own. One that I almost didn't get with because it was so bizarre when I first tried it. I thought, I'm not sure what I think about this. And I gave it a full wear, as I always tell people to do. Folks, give things 2 or 3 tries before you make up your mind that it's not for you, assuming it doesn't like rock your senses right away in a really bad way, right? Like if you're just not sure, give it a few tries and see if it grows on you. And if not, that's fine. And sometimes you discover loves that you might have discarded, if you will, on first try. But this is magnificent, really long lasting, loved in this house. Everyone loves this on me, including my kids, and they are a hard crowd. So get your hands on this if you're interested in it, because this is the lowest that I've seen it on sale anywhere since it's been released. Then, friends, one of my top 10 for life. I just adore this fragrance. Again, this is not for everyone, but it is for a lot of folks, and they love it too, like me. If you love it, you love it. If you don't, you don't. And it is Chinatown. So we're moving on to bomb number 9. These fragrances are notoriously like super expensive retail, to the point where people just are boggled by how much they cost. They can be sometimes in the $400 range for these bottles, which can be a little bit outrageous. I understand. So Jomashop is a great place to shop for these and get a really like brilliant discount on them. This one is going to be I think they're only selling the 1.7 ounce of these. I have a full 3.4 ounce bottle, but the 1.7 ounces are going to be in the low hundreds, like under 125 for a bottle, which is a fantastic deal for a 1.7 ounce. For me, this is like a spicy fall fragrance, and that just has to do with the memory associations that I have with it. A lot of people love to bring this out in springtime. You can see the sort of cherry blossoms on the artwork on the bottle. Some folks pick up prominent tuberose in the fragrance. I do get tuberose. For me, this is a cardamom and woody fragrance with the tuberose accompanying those. To me, the cardamom is a star player. Well, and again, I think it has to do with when I first wore it and the fact that I can't get out of my mind what came through for me most on that first wear. And so every time I smell this, now I think about that beautiful cardamom. There's a little bit of peach blossom, some other white florals, and a lovely sandalwood note. So for me, cardamom, sandalwood, along with tuberose. Okay, that's what stands out to me. Very long lasting. Another crowd pleaser. This smells amazing on me. I get a lot of compliments when I wear this one. I've had friends wear this off of my shelf and they've been complimented when we've gone out together. Husband loves this. This is like a winner, winner chicken dinner right here for me. So whereas this one is like a very sensual and sexy fragrance, the next one is sexy for me in a more subtle way, and that is Tribeca. I do adore these bottles. If you're not familiar with bottle number 9, they are all in the star shape, or most of them, and they're named after a part of New York City. It could be a street like New Bond Street, or it could be a neighborhood like Tribeca. So, and I love this bottle in particular. I don't know, there's just something really pretty about it on my shelf. A lot of people pick up a ton of caramel in the fragrance. For me, this is a very gourmand and floral fragrance. It is very warm and sensual and subtle, like I said. This isn't a projection beast. Folks will smell you, but it has like a more intimate scent bubble. And for me, this lasts all day long. This is one of the more expensive ones that are on sale, and I think it will probably still be like right hovering in the $200 range or a little bit above that, but it's one of the newer fragrances, and so those take a longer time to go on like super deep discount. So this is kind of like a warm, almost creamy, musky type of fragrance with a little bit of woodiness, and some of the key notes that people pick up in here are caramel and hazelnut and cacao. So, and for me, they all just kind of blend together into this lovely, like gourmand deliciousness. If anything, I think I pick up like a chocolatiness, maybe not the dry cacao that I'm used to in some other fragrances that have cacao notes. For me, this is a little bit like creamier, dark, milky, dark chocolate with some nuttiness to it. This, it's hard to describe, but it's really beautiful for me. I love the addition of a white floral. I think it's jasmine in the fragrance that gives it a little bit of additional femininity, roundness, and prettiness. Great one to pick up and a crowd pleaser. Then I'll talk about one of my more recent bond number 9 pickups. This is NoMad, and this is another one that has stayed pretty expensive. So this one is probably going to hover in the $200 range during the sale, maybe slightly under, slightly over. I'm not exactly sure how the pricing is going to work out with the overall discount. So this is a fruity, woody floral fragrance, and I want to be clear about what I mean by fruity in this case. It's fruity in the sense, if you've smelled Tiziano Terenzi fragrances that have fruity notes, like quince and passion fruit and those notes, it does give you fruit, but it's like it leans in the woody direction is maybe the best way to describe it. It's not super girly, ultra feminine fruity. It's a very perfumey fruity. That is hard to describe. It's quince and pear that are some of the key fruit notes, and blackcurrant, which all tend to be very deeply sweet notes. Pear tends to be a little bit lighter in fragrances in terms of texture, and then quince and blackcurrant in particular can feel very syrupy in fragrances. So there is a sweet fruitiness, but I just have to warn you that it's accompanied with a heaping dose of woodiness in the fragrance from oud. There's oud in the fragrance. And so that's important to note. It's not an aggressive oud, but there is a noticeable like base of oud to the fragrance. It has vanilla and it also has rose. I would say the rose is like an accompanying player. More than anything, it's like a sweet, like deeply sweet, syrupy sweet, oudy, fruity fragrance. And it's really great. Very deep, very dark, another very sensual fragrance, another heavily unisex fragrance. Ladies who like this will feel like it's super feminine. Men who like this will feel like it's super masculine. So it's kind of one of those chameleon type of fragrances that could go either way and smell absolutely fantastic on either one. Great for date night, great for cold weather. This could be a really cold weather stunner. It's on the heavier side in terms of the feel of it. This one is probably a little bit lighter, even though I associate this with fall and winter, particularly because of the sandalwood and the cardamom. This one is probably a good fall and winter fragrance solid. This one could take you through from fall all the way through spring. If you like to be bold and wear these types of heavier fragrances in the summer, go for it. I certainly do. But for those of you that like to shop seasonally, I think this could take you into the early spring. And then once it starts to get warm, perhaps you might find a fragrance like this a little bit cloying on you. So it's a heavy hitter in that sense. In fact, I thought about putting it in my heavy hitter fragrances. Did I? I don't think I did because I wanted to save it for a different type of video. Worth checking out if you've been looking at this and the price has been prohibitive. The Jomashop sale is the time to get it. Let's go next to Tom Ford, and I'll go to one of my absolutely favorite fragrances of all time and from Tom Ford. I may go on and get myself the big bottle of this during the sale because I've been nursing my little itty bitty 30 ml, 1 little ounce bottle of Tom Ford Soleil Blanc. Not the Eau de Soleil Blanc. That one is lovely too, although it's lighter in texture and it's heavier on whatever the citrus notes are at the top. I believe it's Neroli or bergamot, one of those sort of like really citrusy, almost green smelling notes. And it's beautiful. That one is lovely too. This one here is magnificent. For me, a masterpiece. I don't throw that word around lightly. I love, love, love the creamy coconut and citrus and florals in here. Some people pick up more of the florals, which is tuberose and ylang-ylang, gorgeous white yellow floral combination. It is noticeable in here, but for me, this is creamy coconut more than anything else. And it has a bergamot note, so there's a little bit of citrus as well. But for the most part, creamy, delicious coconut that is softened. For those of you that are not big coconut lovers, you don't mind it in a fragrance, it is softened with the florals, made complex and unique and interesting by the florals and the other notes in the fragrance. This is a summer stunner, very, very elegant, very elegant. Definitely does not give for me any kind of sunscreen vibes. Some others say they get that. I don't. For me, this is like high class, very ritzy resort in your flowing white dress, going out to very expensive dinner type of fragrance. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, I forgot to tell you. The full 3.4 ounce will be on sale for the 250, probably under that range, which if you know Tom Ford pricing, you might want to get on that. These bigger bottles like this, the popular ones can be over 400 into the 500 and sometimes $600 range, which is bananas. It's actually coconuts. See what I did there? Then one for the fellas, although ladies, if you're daring and you like a leather fragrance, there is no leather fragrance out there that is more photorealistic, in my opinion, and absolutely downright jump your bones sexy on a guy, my husband. That's what I'm talking about. That guy. Ombre Leather from Tom Ford. People can tell you all about whatever notes are in the fragrance. I don't care. This is just leather. It's leather. It's leather. Well, I guess leather like warmed up by skin, body heat. Ooh, now we're going onto dangerous territory. Hubby wears this and I'm like, you have on ombre leather. Come hither. Absolutely. Love it, love it, love it. Want to jump his bones when he wears this. Amazing. Great longevity, great projection. If you spray too much, it can be a little crazy. So this is one that's a subtle spray, 2-3 sprays at the most will take you through the day. Very alluring, intriguing fragrance. Beautiful in the air. Great for office through late night, late night affairs, if you will. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. Now, Jomashop has the 1.7 ounce for under $100, which is fantastic. And I do think they have some gift sets. I haven't looked to see what that means, if it comes with like a lotion or something like that, or a travel spray, but just look up Ombre Leather when you go to the link below and see what they're offering. Then I did think about including Black Orchid in here, but I know how some of y'all are. Y'all can't stand Black Orchid. I love, love, love Black Orchid. I love the flankers of it, and I love the newer Le Parfum. I have them and adore them. But I'm gonna bring y'all a different kind of orchid. One that I think is probably more palatable for a wider audience. And for Tom Ford fans or for people who are impressed with Tom Ford and all that. Velvet Orchid. The bottle is pretty, this beautiful purpley bottle. Main note is orchid, which is a fantasy note that is floral. Beautiful. Very ladylike scent, that part of it. However, there are other notes that give this. It's like if Black Ford calmed itself down and sat in a corner and got some manners. This is what what you would get. It has a mysteriousness from boozy notes and from some woody notes. Sandalwood, a little bit of leather, a little bit of resins in the fragrance, and it has a lovely sweetness from honey and vanilla to accompany the orchid, which is the primary note, the fantasy note. And it does the job. This is very sexy, but I would say in a crowd pleasing way. So, where Black Orchid, some people find that one repulsive. I don't think anyone would say that this one is repulsive. I think they would say it's intriguing, a little mysterious, very feminine in some ways. Although, again, this is one that I could see being worn easily by men and fooling the nose of others into thinking that it's just like, they just smell amazing. This is a really good fragrance, wonderful for date night. Another sort of heavy hitter that has a lot of power, especially in the first few hours of wearing this. Great projection, great longevity, great sillage. It will take you through the evening hours. You know, if you spray it in the morning, it might take you into early evening and maybe you need a couple of other sprays. But if you spray it in the afternoon as you're heading out for the late afternoon and evening, it's going to take you well into the night, into your dancing hours, into those late night weddings where y'all are tearing it up on the dance floor, cutting a rug together, line dancing, twerking, dropping it like it's hot, electric sliding, whatever y'all like to do at the weddings. Maybe you're just sitting at the table eating shrimp cocktail and enjoying watching other people drop it like it's hot. This is beautiful for winter affairs, winter events that require dressing up, and you want a nice, strong scent on that's going to be appropriate for the season and that people are going to notice you in. Beautiful, floral, sweet, boozy, mysterious, woody fragrance. Delightful. So I want to hear from you. What are you looking to pick up in the Jomashop sale? Are you going to shop the sale? And if so, what are you going to pick up in the sale? Would love it if you would use the link below and use the code BF15 at checkout. Have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Don't forget to tell me what other Black Friday sales you guys are shopping. Let us know in the comments because I have FOMO and I do not want to miss out on any great sales. So, mwah, have a beautiful one. Take care, friends.